Will a vegan diet prevent or cure male pattern baldness? That is the big question. There have been many vegan doctors, promoters, herbalists that will lead you to believe that if you adopt a vegan diet, that it will resolve your hair loss issues. And like all good fairy tales, everything has a happy ending. The vegan diet has been touted to cure all of your ailments. Like, it's supposed to cure everything. But from doing some simple Google searches and a little bit of investigation, I've come to the conclusion that a vegan diet does not cure male pattern baldness. And it's not as simple as just excluding animal products from your diet. See, male pattern baldness is caused by your genes and male sex hormones that you inherit from your mom and dad. And that is the biggest reason why you go bald, not because of what you're eating. Now, granted, genes load the gun, but diet pulls the trigger. So you can actually influence your genes by what you eat, okay? So if you are like eating a standard American diet, so you're consuming a lot of soda, sugar, white flour, candy, processed foods, refined vegetable oils, lots of omega-6 rancid vegetable oils, these things can actually turn on bad genes. And you can actually increase the aging process by consuming a very poor diet like that. Because insulin creates what's called advanced glycation end products, and these advanced glycation end products can basically damage cells and will speed up the aging process. So, I've always said for the longest time now on my channel here is that, to basically prevent male pattern baldness, you want to consume an anti-aging diet. So to consume an anti-aging diet, you want to consume those things which aren't going to cause a lot of oxidation in your system, in your body. And that's one of the benefits, actually, of consuming a vegan diet. But they take it to the extreme. They take it way too far, because there's actually antioxidants and important nutrients that help keep you young that are found in animal products. Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K2, vitamin E. Those actually help prevent oxidation. And a vegan diet sometimes does not contain enough of those vitamins. So that's why you have to be well educated about whichever type of diet you do decide to take. So like just simply consuming a lot more vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds. Basically, a whole foods unprocessed diet contains a lot of nutrients that help slow down the oxidation in your body. And that actually helps slow the aging process. That's why people that eat whole food, natural-based diets tend to look a lot younger than they are for their age. Whereas a lot of people consuming a lot of soda and things that speed up the aging process and cause damage to the body appear to look a lot older. Now, if you're speeding up your aging process, obviously, if you have the genes for baldness, you're going to speed those genes up and you're going to bald quicker. So there really is no special cure when it comes to curing baldness. The vegan diet cannot cure your baldness. It just so happens that consuming a really healthy diet, though, can slow the process down. And so, you may be able to maintain a lot of your hair into your later years. But that doesn't mean that it's a cure. It just means that it's preventing hair loss. Again, that's all that the herbs do as well, like saw palmetto, like stinging nettle root extract, like biotin, like a lot of these natural herbs and things. They don't cure baldness. They're just preventing or slowing the process down. And that's all you can do. But for someone to say that if you go vegan, that it'll somehow magically and miraculously cure your hair loss, that's a little far-fetched. And I could just prove it to you guys real simply. If a vegan diet did cure baldness, then explain Dr. Michael Clapper, explain Dr. Harris, and explain Dr. Jack Norris. Those guys are vegans, and they're all bald. Balder than me. Balder than people that consume, say, dairy, or meat, or eggs, or fish. Right? And, so if vegan diet cured baldness, then we wouldn't see any bald vegans. But that's not the case. We see a lot of bald vegans. And those vegans that I just mentioned are health conscious, and they do eat a whole foods based diet. They aren't living off vegan processed foods. They eat natural foods, and that's totally good. And and I'm all for eating natural foods, but to claim that a vegan diet is going to cure your baldness and your hair loss issues, that seems to be a bit far-fetched, and it doesn't make common sense. Because just using a little of intelligence and investigation, we can come to the conclusion that, gee, a vegan diet doesn't actually cure your baldness. Because I can look around and see people that are vegan, vegetarian, and they're bald, and I can see people that eat meat, and they're bald. So I think it's kind of ridiculous how people throw the ball at each other and are like, well, meat eaters always go bald because the meat and the dairy is what's causing baldness. Well, if that was true, then explain those people that consume raw dairy and meat, they have full heads of hair, like Dr. Ron Schmidt. Here's a guy that consumes raw milk and eats tons, basically just meat and stuff, and he has a full head of hair and all his brown hair. And I've watched a video of his where he shares about one of the people he was rooming with during his college days, of how this man started to eat liver, right? After learning from Weston A. Price, his research, he started to eat liver, and his hair turned from gray back to black. So, surely now, if the vegans were right about how animal products are so deadly for our hair, surely now, you would not hear something miraculous like that. And surely this story was just not made up. Because just doing a simple Google search or reading on many forum boards, or again, just doing some simple investigation, you'll come to the conclusion that there's a lot of amazing things out there that can really help people. And everything's not just so black and white as some vegans or even meat eaters may like you to believe. That's why I've always tried to keep an open mind here in my channel and not be so narrow-minded. Some people will say, well, you never should take saw palmetto because that causes erectile dysfunction. Yet I've taken it for years and it's helped me. And many other people have too. Or some people are against blackstrap molasses because they say that's sugar. Yet many people have reported blackstrap molasses curing a lot of their diseases. So see, everything's not so black and white. You have to use your own, you have to investigate yourself and look at the facts. But if something was true, okay, if the vegan diet did cure baldness, then we'd see a lot more people that had baldness be able to reverse it. Or, we wouldn't see so many bald people, but that's just not the case because there are bald vegans. And a lot of these vegans, too, that promote this idea that it'll somehow cure your baldness are also selling you an herbal supplement with a bunch of herbs in it saying you need to take this in order to have healthy hair. But let's just think this for a moment. I thought that eating just the fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, and beans and whole grains was good enough to keep your hair. But now I have to take all these special herbs in order to get all the nutrients, see? Or I need to take a special kelp or special seaweed. I could go on and on about this stuff. But it's true. A lot of these guys come out as, oh, the vegan diet is so superior and so special for us. But here, take this supplement A through Z, even though it is maybe 100% herbal based and derived only from whole foods. Nothing wrong with that. But then try to sell it and promote it to people. with this idea that it's somehow miraculously going to give you a full head of hair or something, which is ridiculous. You know, I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the fame. What I'm in it for is to give people true, honest information to really help people. Because there's people out there that really need help, and they don't want to be lied to. They just want truthful, honest information. And they want a good opinion from somebody who spent the time to investigate it or thought about it. You know, I actually take the time to think about these things and then make videos about it for you guys so that you don't have to do all the thinking. And I'm not saying you shouldn't think for yourself, but I'm just saying that that's kind of the nice thing, is when someone can do a lot of research and investigation for you and then bring it out in a video like this. So, bottom line is, if you think that going on a vegan diet is, you know, going to somehow miraculously cure your hair loss, you know, think twice. And if you do decide that you want to try that, I would love to see progress. You know, send me evidence. Show me how your hair went from bald back to a full thick head of hair again by going vegan. See, if people could provide pictures and evidence, and I don't want photoshopped shots of anything like that, but I want to see from real pictures, you know, or some type of evidence that, wow, this stuff's really real. Otherwise, people just aren't going to believe you, you know. I don't claim to have, you know, perfect head of hair, and I don't claim to be perfect or perfectly healthy. Everybody's flawed in some way or another, but the thing is, just be careful of people making these outrageous claims. Because if it really was that simple by just excluding animal products from your diet and saving your hair, I'm sure that a lot of bald people would jump on the bandwagon and have had great success. But that's just simply not the case. And I'm sure that that famous herbalist, Dr. James A. Duke, would have said something about it as well. But he just didn't. You know, the fact of the matter is that science shows and says that male pattern baldness is caused from your genes, you know, and that makes a lot of sense. We inherit things from our parents, you know, our eye color, our hair, you know, our size. We inherit a lot of things from our parents. And for somebody to say that baldness is some terrible disease, that's just simply not true. It's just part of the normal natural aging process. We need to learn to accept it and be confident in ourselves. So, with that, take care. If you like this video, please like, favorite, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please ask me down below in the comments section. Bye.